I think there's so much more to the story, and really when it comes to this war and this attack on Israel. I'm worried that we're fixing to put ourselves in a very precarious situation, not only in America, but worldwide. I think we are truly seeing the signs of World War III, and it's definitely going to be more of a spiritual battle. It's funny how we always fight over Israel, and Israel's always the problem, quote unquote, the problem. And we're talking about a space that's smaller than New Jersey. And then we talk about, the West Bank or Gaza Strip, which are, so minuscule and tiny. It's almost like towns. But it's because there's a spiritual connotation to it. Now the question is, with all this new stuff that's happening and some more revelations that's come out, are we truly seeing the signs of World War III? And what is America gonna do? Because is this, Israel today, maybe your soul, or the US tomorrow? That's something we're gonna talk about today. I think there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. Let's jump into it. Today's video starts right now.
Fall down, it's gonna be okay. The sun could go out, we're gonna be okay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or thumbs down. That's okay, but let us know what you think about this content. I said I was not gonna make another video dealing with Israeli situation, but to be honest with you, there's a lot that's kind of come out the last few days, and I think that if we don't open our eyes to some of the revelations and also some of the dangers that's right in front of us, I believe we're going to see Israel today, America tomorrow. Now, am I saying we need to jump into another war? Absolutely not. But with everything that's come out, I do believe we need to be opening our eyes and seeing what's going on around us, because if we don't, I think we're going to wake up and not have wisdom, and we're going to see a major problem here on our shore that is dealing with this exact same thing. So first and foremost, a few shocking revelations, I think personally, from my opinion, that we need to talk about. First and foremost, why in the world did Israeli and US intelligence catch what this Hamas attack was going to do? Why did it take IDF and also the military so long to protect Israel? Now, that's things that need to be discussed in Israel. It has nothing really to do with America, other than our intelligence is pretty strong over there, so why in the world did we not see it? Or did we? And the question is why didn't we say anything? There was a story that came out that said Egypt actually warned Israel of something like this taking place just about a month ago. Now the question is, if that was the truth, were we and Israel so competent and confident in our own intelligence and also the defense mechanisms such as the Iron Dome that we didn't worry about it? Or did we think that Egypt was just not being honest with us? I think that's a major concern, because now we have several Americans dead and like 1,000 Israelis dead, and if we don't figure out what that breakdown of communication or intelligence was, I think that's going to open doors for more problems. Secondly, this is not just some random attack. Hamas is just another terrorist group. They do stupid stuff and all of a sudden they win stupid prizes. Pretty much Israel goes in there and takes care of it, and then they sign a truce that doesn't last long until the next rampant battle from either the West Bank or the Gaza Strip. But here's the issue. This was a very coordinated attack. This is not just done by some random group. So this is when it comes into, is Hezbollah, is Iran, are there bigger players in this situation? I mean, here we are, Israel is surrounded by people who don't like them. We have Syria and Lebanon, which we're going to discuss in just a second, but we have it from the ground, the water, from different sides, different elements, and all of a sudden it was all coordinated. Here's my thought pattern. Hamas knows, it's like I said yesterday, poking the bear. Hamas knows they can't win a battle by just going ahead and doing these few little things. So it's almost like a slap in the face to Israel to then turn around and get bombed and families destroyed, all because you just wanted to poke the bear. So the question comes down to is there another big player behind it wanting to see more turmoil in certain areas, therefore they distract you because they're going to target another area? That is key. What if this is just like a puppeteer where they're just dangling this right in front of us here in the Gaza Strip? All the while we have dangers in the West Bank. All the while we have dangers on the northern border with Lebanon and Syria. Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Syria, who does not like Israel, both have stated their animosity towards this situation. So if we see a battle in one part of Israel, are we going to see more dangers coming across other parts of borders of Israel? Now that is what really opens the door to major conversations, because at this point we're not dealing with just Hamas. We may be dealing with Hezbollah, Iran, Lebanon, Syria. So are we looking at a true Middle Eastern war? Now Israel is strong and have always defended themselves, and even with our help too. But they've never battled on every front. And the question is, was this Hamas attack just a puppeteer wanting to dangle it right in front of you to cause more of all the fighting to be in one spot while other places may be vulnerable? That is another bigger concern I think that we need to pay attention to, and the intelligence needs to pay attention to. Now, if any other country was attacked first, and then they retaliated, I don't think there'd be so much polarization on this issue. I'm blown away that people are complaining about Israel defending themselves. If any country, France to Germany to UK to America to Australia, if any other country was facing problems, we would say, hey, go in there and retaliate. I mean, it's what we're doing in Ukraine. We're fisting to give another $100 billion to Ukraine. Biden has promised. During this Israeli situation, Biden promises another $100 billion of your tax dollars to Ukraine. What I'm saying is, we didn't say, Ukraine, no, don't retaliate against Russia. No, we're saying go in there and blast them, and we're going to help you. However, we're seeing complaints from a lot of places saying, well, you know, Israel, you need to sign a truce. You do not need to do anything to protect your homeland. You do not need to hurt these people. And look at the media skewing again the same way. They're saying Palestine, we need to protect those people. Israel's in the wrong. So let's go over this right quick. Any other country that would be attacked, most people would say, hey, retaliate. Now, I don't want to see any innocent lives pass, but it's like Hamas poked the bear. I believe Israel has a right to defend themselves. We talked about that yesterday. We would do the same thing. I think any country would do the same thing. I would hope to protect their people. The question now becomes, is why is there so many people standing up with Palestine? I love the fact that all these liberal and all these leftists and like Rashida Tlaib and some of those of the squad are standing up with Palestine. However, they're flying the Palestine flag right next to their LGBT flags. Do people not realize the Palestinians do not believe in LGBT rights? Now, I don't either. I'm not saying, which I'll be honest with you, I'm against it too. But these people will kill them. Did you know Israel has allowed LGBT rights? Which again, I'm against, but I'm just saying, if the leftists and liberals really pay attention, they're asking for their own persecution when it comes to Palestine and the Arab people compared to the Jews. The Jews have left a lot of their traditions and been more liberal, which I fully disagree with. However, it's amazing that they're getting fought from the left here in America when the Jews mostly vote left here in America, and they support liberal ideology here in the States. So there's always something bigger to me that's all at play when it comes to Israel, because are we talking about the spiritual battle when it comes to Jews and Christians in the homeland? Or are we talking about a liberal push and agendas? Because that doesn't really play well for most leftists here in America. So now we've discussed the fact of there may be bigger implications. There was a breakdown of intelligence, especially when Egypt is telling us this could happen. All of a sudden we see other countries saying we may get involved. Then we see this polarizing part of the leftist agenda pushing against Israel, even though they would face persecution if they just went to these Palestinian countries. So all these leftists that are promoting that, why don't they just go live in Gaza Strip or go live in Palestine just for a little bit and realize they would be persecuted against. They should be thankful for the Jews, and they should be thankful that they live in a free country like America. I digress. So now what? What should we do? Well, here's my thought pattern, and this is where it really gets serious. We're talking about Iran, we're talking about Hezbollah and Hamas, and we're even discussing Israel. Very dangerous situations, especially when you talk spiritual, because I think there's a lot more to it. Now you're seeing Ukraine and Russia get involved. You're seeing Mahmoud Abbas that is now going to Russia, Palestinian leader going to Russia. We see all of a sudden Zelensky having a say in believing that Israel is like the Ukraine. We need to fight for them. So now are we looking at a bigger situation like a true world war where we're building axis of powers? I'm really anxious to see what Russia and China are going to do, because here India has kind of come alongside Israel. So I'm anxious to see, is this going to hurt or implicate BRICS nations? What is the implications there with the Middle East? How dangerous is it? How much oil is going to cost us? I mean, it's going to change. Now here's the bigger issue. This is all about Israel, all about the Middle East, all about Ukraine and Russia. It's all over there. We say over there, it's not here. However, we let 13,000 more men in from 161 countries represented in our southern border just this last week. Some of them on watch list. Some of them from countries that are not South American. So we have 161 countries represented with people crossing our borders. There's not 161 countries below us in the Mexican and South America areas. So where are they coming from? Israel's war today could easily be our war tomorrow. Not because of Israel, not because of Iran, not over there, but here on our grounds. That's why I believe this is very serious. That's why I believe there's a shocking revelation to show is that their borders have not been secure, even though they have a very, very staunch policy with their borders. Ukraine and Russia's borders are not secure, even though we've invested billions of dollars over there. Now we are allowing people to come into our borders. They're saying 8 to 9 million have crossed over the last 2 or 3 years. Do we honestly believe all those people are just looking for a better life and want to work and want to provide for their families and pay taxes and become American patriots? Or do we honestly believe there's some nationalists, there's some terrorists and some people on the watch list that are crossing our border and we're not doing anything about it? We're cutting fences. We're allowing them through. Now, I love the fact that we're starting to try to think about building a border. The problem is you still got 8 or 9 million people here illegally that could be very, very detrimental for us. So Israel's war today, it may be happening and we may need to do something about it. But because we're not willing to do anything about those borders and help them, but the reason we're not willing to do anything with our border, Israel's fight today may be our fight tomorrow. I don't think our worry is the Middle East. I don't think our worry is Russia and Ukraine. I believe we're putting our nose in something we shouldn't, all the while we're not paying attention to our own back door. It's funny. It's kind of like if I lock my, I build this self-defense plan and I build this home to protection. We want to protect our family. But if all of a sudden I lock my front door and then put my, my shutters closed, and I lock my side door and put my shutters closed, but then I say I'm gonna leave my back window open and my back door open just in case. Just, there's no reason to lock them. The front doors are locked, and hey, from everybody looking this way, it looks like our house is secure. But really, if you just go around back, it's wide open. Do you think that's a wise security plan? I don't think so. So while we're paying attention to what's going on in the Middle East and Russia, Ukraine, we're leaving our back door open. And those fights and those wars that are going on today may be our fights that's going on tomorrow on our shore, our soul. And then we as patriots have to stand up. One thing I want you to pay attention to, Israeli had a pretty strong, staunch gun policy to where you couldn't have a lot. They're lax in those policies. Ukraine, lax in those policies. They're allowing their civilians to, have as much arms as they want to. Why? Because the dangers are there. America don't make the same mistake. That's one thing America has going for it, is it can protect itself because the citizens are armed. But if we see this push by the leftist agenda, that won't happen either, and then we're going to be in the same precarious situation as what we see across the world. Today's wars across the world are tomorrow's wars for America because our southern border is not closed. So where's the invasion really going to happen? Where's the problem really going to be? What's the plot twist for these wars across the world? It's actually going to bring it right back home to America. And we have a weak leader who is not doing anything about it. And that is what scares me about this war. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy to think that our border could be next? I don't think I'm crazy. I hope I'm wrong, though. I really do. Because if I'm right, I think it's going to be a lot more tougher days for America. Today's wars across the world is the tomorrow war here on our shore, because we are depleting everything we have here to support all of them over there, all the while our border's insecure. Don't leave our back door open, guys. Thank you for watching. God bless. Happy homesteading, y'all.